Now, as a YouTuber, y'all, I was very caught up in the drama that unfolded with the Queen's Court and Monique. It was messy. Here's my 2 cents about it. Boy, this camera. I'm like T. Madison. Is it on? Is it on? Okay, I see the seconds moving. I'm doing this video because I really wanted to get on here yesterday when the topic was hot and trending about technical difficulties. But I'm going to show y'all what real technical difficulties is. That little stuff Kaya went through, she should be ashamed. She should be ashamed. Because trying to get these videos done, I don't care if you're just using an iPad, iPhone, smartphone, digital camera, computer, web computer, it's technical. So I'm going to show y'all my technical problems. You see all those devices? This is 2 smartphones, 2 of them. 2 smartphones, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 tablets, a desktop computer, and a laptop that I'm holding in my hand. And between all those devices, I did not have one that I could use as a form of communication to call out. And I'm a disabled old lady stuck in the house living alone with no communication. And then when I do get to communicate with peoples, they only thinking about themselves. Oh, you forgot about me. That's these fools on Facebook. Oh, you forgot about me. Oh, you ain't thinking about me. And one of the hardest things we had to get through that we couldn't get through is because we had to change our account. Because our primary account holder, she's deceased. So she certainly couldn't help us get through the security process, and if she was alive, she couldn't either, because it's so doggone convoluted and impossible to get through that it's ridiculous. It don't work to keep criminals from ripping you off and stealing your phone, because I had a gun put up to the head for this phone right here, the Galaxy Note, when they first came out. And it took 3 more years before I could get it replaced. And my dear old auntie, who is now deceased, is the reason why I have one at all. At all. And we had to get through the verification process, and they kept asking for the primary account holder. I switched it over to my son. Why? He pays the bill. But look where the boy is. Knocked out in my place where I should be. Sleep. Getting some sleep right now, but I've been up all night with T-Mobile, with Sprint, who locked my device to their company. That's one of my problems. Couldn't just take my SIM card and put it over in my beautiful Galaxy Note 3, which is why I kept it, which is because I paid for it, and my tablet. And even though my granddaughter cracked the screen, it still works, and both of these devices take SIM cards. But because this is locked to Sprint, couldn't get that to replace my phone. So when you want to talk about technical difficulties, I could give you some technical difficulties. Couldn't get in online through the website because all the 1-step, 2-step verification process required you to be on the phone. And guess what I don't have? a freaking phone. A freaking phone that I can call a freaking soul. Not one person can I call with my phone. And why? Because of an update we were forced to have when our phones went off that runs this phone up hot and it cuts off. It powers off and does not come back on, and it took me hours and hours upon hours or hours of forums and researching to get to a resolution, and none of them came from the tech people, mind you, that I called for Sprint and for T-Mobile. I had to get that on my own. Technical difficulty. I could tell you something about technical difficulty. This big girl ain't 8. The boy worked 12 hours and came back home. He just happened to come back here to fix him something to eat. He got in my way, so I didn't even get a chance to cook myself something to eat. I'm still waiting to eat. And 3 more hours we spent wrangling with T-Mobile to get the accounts taken out of a dead person's name and put into living people's name. And they expected him to still be woke and still be re-answering the stupid verification questions they make you go to. This is ridiculous. All that verification process that's set up for the phone ain't nothing but a way for them to entrap your number and constantly track you, because it should always, that's why I'm doing this video, always be an email way to resolve these problems. It should always be a remote way to resolve these problems. They don't want that. They want your goddamn telephone number. They want that like they want their life. That's how bad it is. And so my life has been put on hold. See, my dinner still sitting there. I was about to grub down on some new dish, zucchini dish. Grilled zucchini patties, which sounded very good to me, but my dinner is still sitting on the stove, uncooked. So when I seen Tim Madison having to break down in tears, this don't have nothing to do with my telephone situation, but it came up because I seen so many of the people that I follow and watch bring up the story of Monique and agreeing to go on the Queen's court. You looking at a queen right now. And if it wasn't for my tech savviness, I still would have been out of this problem. It took me taking pictures for proof, because they wouldn't take my word for it. Proof, taking screenshots and video recordings of my situation, literally showing them how my boy is asleep, how I have the obituary. What else more do you need from me to verify myself and get through this process? That's social insecurity to the maximum. And I related to it because here Kai is, I'm saying she dead 100%, 200% wrong and 2 left feet. Because she had a chance to have Monique there answering whatever questions they came up with. You could tell Kaya was out of her element since she wasn't queen and the focus wasn't on her and what she had to say. She didn't know how to act. She didn't know how to act. But I'm going to show you. I do know how to act. If you only knew what I went through, and this is what I've been going through since I left the funeral. Since I left the funeral, I've been having problems with my phone. That's January 22nd. Since January 22nd, I have had issues with my phone based on an update of firmware that neither Samsung nor T-Mobile can figure out a way to replace so that I could get my phone back operating properly. And only thing they wanted to suggest to me is to buy another phone. Huh? I just spent 2 years paying for the one I got and gonna spend 2 more using the one I got if I can help it. And I wanted to break it down or make sure, because I'm a tech too, I wanted to rule things out. Is it a software problem or a hardware problem? I thought it was a hardware problem. No, it's not. My SIM card is working properly now because I finally figured out what the problem was after hours and hours upon research, to the point where I'm up right now, been up all night, finding out that the new update makes your phone run hot. And that running hotness is what cuts my phone off and why I couldn't power it back on, no matter what I did. And not one of those representatives had the answers for me. I do happen to have a Good Tech Now online, fortunately, because I was able to reach them through Facebook. The tech-savvy person that I am figured out a way to get up out that loop and useless chat inside the individual company website, Samsung and T-Mobile, and got into their Facebook chat and finally got a technician that actually halfway know what they're doing and know what to say to me, because it is crazy to have somebody say, run on along and go into the store and solve this problem. I said, I'm a tech. We should be able to solve this problem or by phone or by computer, one or the other, remotely, without me going anywhere. Why? Because I don't have a car. Why? My son don't even have a car. He walked over here. And because he too tired to walk back to his own crib, he in my bed taking up my space. You want to talk about technical difficulties? Kaya, you need to get it together. This is real technical difficulty. Real life technical difficulties. All you had was a little problem with the audio and lighting, and I would have came and did that for y'all gladly. For free. For free. I don't have the best lighting, but when it comes to YouTube, you don't have to have the best lighting, because YouTubers come, they sign up for the content, the personalities in front of the camera, not what's behind the camera, because I wouldn't have no subscribers if it was based on that. So my suggestion to Maddie, because I think Maddie gonna end up with a television job more so than Kaya. I was team Kaya because the show was funny. I was until yesterday. You don't leave nobody hanging in the middle of a show that's yours, and you do have an actual real celebrity on that could have helped you get on and meet some more people to come to your show. You don't walk off like you all of that and people just lined up to interview you. No. That's the one thing nobody was saying while all these millions came out from YouTube having their 2 cents to say about the Queen's Court. I'm showing y'all some technical difficulties. You know how difficult it is to be up 5 o'clock in the morning, been up all night. Even Monique said she did 10 hours, and she wasn't about to beg no doggone Kaya to come to the camera and talking about Kaya talking about she don't do business like that. She should have been just as involved in getting that together. Check 1, check 2, check 3 before any of us should have seen anything that went down on that show. Okay? And that show could have went on with just the voice. But see, I think Kaya met her match when she came up on a Monique, because I knew Monique could probably handle anything Kaya could have thrown her way. And that's one thing Kaya didn't have the benefit of. All that talk she talked, which I ain't mad at her. I'm glad she got a mouth like she do. Because she do be telling the truth on a lot of that stuff she be saying. But when you met your match, you tongue-tied. The energy ain't right. Why? Because I think you actually had a challenger to your stuff, who would have showed you a classy way in which to do it. The more I see Monique and hear about her story, the more she gets credibility from me. Because I really did think it was a selfish thing to ask us to boycott Netflix just for her. And all of us would have loved to hear her response. But instead, we spent the time watching Maddie, who, by the way, y'all, I did work for under her group on Facebook. That's some history you may not know. I am y'all YouTube history, and y'all don't know who behind closed doors on YouTube. But yeah, I was one of her administrators in one of her groups way before she became this popular to the point where she could get an interview with Monique. And I did put in my resume to help them out. Because you know what? I don't have the most perfect background or thing because I ain't got no money. But I could have showed both of them how to get they set up better for no money. It don't take thousands of dollars. And just like Coldest Ice Princess said, she could have got some students to come in and actually help them out on the set. Or if I was living in Atlanta, I forgot where they actually live down there, I would have gladly helped them out for free. Worked out whatever kinks, because I love that stuff. I love the tech part. And I would have got them together. I don't have it together in here because of money. It don't take a whole lot of money, but it takes some that I ain't in a position to spend, because sister girl just barely got food on the table. She had to get free food from the clinic. Talk about technical difficulties. Who want to hear about some technical difficulties when you got them kind of problems? I'm not going to go on a backdrop or name another camera tripod today, because my biggest technical difficulty is that I could not do any videos or any phone communication to anyone due to technical difficulties. Technical difficulties that I have not been able to completely resolve to this moment. That right now is a T-Mobile representative trying their best to reset my phone remotely. And I had to do a majority of this video outside of earshot so as not to wake up this person, because he ain't nothing nice when you wake him up out his sleep. I'm an easygoing person. You can wake me up and I won't get mad. I'll be upset, but you don't want to wake this person up. Let's see. Live, you have bloopers like that. I'm not going to edit. I just wanted to get this off my chest. Technical difficulties. Kaya better check herself. And the least I expect from her is to apologize. And it don't have to be public, but she need to reel it on in, because she ain't that special that everybody, including Monique, sitting up there asking her over and over to come along and just do the show. Don't nobody should have to beg you to do nothing. You started the show. You signed up for it. I heard people say she probably wasn't planning for it to be, rolling out to a regular show. Oh, no. She was perfectly fine putting on that robe and playing her song, talking about everybody buying it. Not everybody. You was happy to get all that promotion, that added to your crowd that you got to listen to thanks to Madison. So that show was a perfect example of how the lines have blurred thanks to technology. You don't know the celebrities from the ordinary people, and the ordinary people getting treated like celebrities and get the big head. Get the big head and think, dang, they energy gotta be right to be in an interview with a real celebrity. Say what you want to say about Monique, but she definitely is well established and got her Screen Actors Guild card, I'm quite sure, along with her Academy Award, because that's a prerequisite of winning one of those. And was working, took away from her work to take the time to make time for some side joints. She ain't have to. She ain't have to do that. But that's just going to show you the power of the internet. It's the game changer. And I'm glad Monique is speaking out. You could put her down and say what you want to say about her. Talking about you over it. I saw Lovely T.I. said, I'm so over Monique. That's your problem. Y'all so over people instantly. You ain't got time to be bothered with people because it ain't in 10-minute, 10-second spots for your entertainment. Everything got to be over and done in 10 minutes or less. Life don't happen like that. Monique probably had plenty to say, but we'll never know what it would have been in the presence of T. Madison and Kaya, because somebody got the diva demon up in them and would not compromise. And I ain't got nobody's court, but my gavel gonna be the king. I ordered Kaya to eat some humble pie right about now, because they had a good chemistry, and I wasn't checking for no Kaya because of no Kaya. I was checking for her because of T. Madison. And T. Madison showed and proved why I've been following her all these years. So, T. Madison, keep doing you. I hope you take a look at your messages and see that I put in my resume trying to sign up with y'all. I'll be happy to help y'all on the technology end, because I can prove to y'all, I don't care how much equipment you have, you can still have technical difficulties. I don't care how much staff you have, you can have technical difficulties. I bet you Wendy wish her technical difficulty where she fainted before the whole world did not happen, but didn't she get back up and keep the show going? That's what professionals do. And y'all roasted Wendy plenty on y'all show. But take notes, Wendy kept the show going. That's what professionals do. They would have did whatever it takes for the show must go on. Anyway, that's my 2 cents about the Kaya Queen's Court situation. I've been wanting to chime in on it, and I also been wanting to tell y'all about my technical difficulties. Well, guess what? I had technical difficulties. I couldn't come on here and say nothing. So in answer to the followers, my followers for my channel, my test results came out positive. And I'm sorry I made y'all wait all the way to the end, but guess what? I had technical difficulties, and I couldn't get that off my brain. So I just brought it all in. I don't care how many pieces of equipment you got. When it comes to making these videos, it is not no joke. It's not no joke. It's work. And most of the work is behind the scenes, and you can't see it. So you can't just say, oh, what's she doing? That's all she doing is jumping in front of a camera. Oh, no, that's not all you do. That's not all you do. It's way more to it than that. And if I wasn't tech savvy, I wouldn't have gotten nowhere on this situation but to run around and probably 5 more days of not having a phone and having technical difficulties. But my tech savviness and being able to take videos and do screenshots, which that's what I was using my technology for, because I'm good at it, I'm finally making progress. I'm finally getting through the madness. So, I am about to take my hungry self in that kitchen. 5 a.m. and make my zucchini patties because I'm hungry. I didn't even get to enjoy myself. Ooh. And put one in the air. I'm just as sober and been up all night dealing with technical difficulties. Technical difficulties where people can't see I'm disabled and tell me to go into the shop. Go into the shop so they can look at your problem. And I kept saying it ain't nothing they could look at and see that I can't tell myself. I could figure it out myself. I understand codes. When I seen the codes go by, it's not rebooting. It needs firmware to replace the corrupted software that's on my phone. Of course, they would have had you wanted me to be convinced that I had to go buy a whole nother phone. But that is not true. This phone is finally processing because I literally had to put it on a bag of ice. This is ice right here. Putting it at risk. Matter of fact, you see it's dripping. But that's what kept it cool while that update was making my phone burn up. I figured that out all by myself. And my work and my research, which nobody ever sees, that's boring and tedious, after reading over hundreds and hundreds of comments and forums that don't relate to my problem, but though they had the same words in there, as though they did have the same problem. I had to figure out my problem and solve it. So, I'm very happy to say I'm making progress. And the show is going on because I didn't give up. And that's the kind of person I am. I'm a problem solver. And I gotta solve this new problem. I dropped my phone. Just dropped it. And there it is. It's working. Finally, with my SIM card in it. So, that being said, T. Madison, holla at me. I'd love to work with you guys because my audience don't appreciate me for being me. I had 900 people follow me to my Facebook tech group, and not one of them talked to me about tech or anything techy. So it makes me wonder, why did they follow me? Because I don't believe it was for the tech part. That's another one of my technical difficulties. that's a beautiful sight. Now, I'm going to test it out and see if I can call anybody. Now his alarm is going off on his phone, but I want to see if his phone will ring. Hey! Y'all know that sound. And he got a house music ringtone. Yes. Technical difficulties solved, finally. Peace and love. So I'll see you again in the next video, God willing. My test was positive. I got a lot to live for.